Alright, and it looks like our racer is going to be off shortly. Alright, so good morning everyone. Welcome to Winners Round 4 of the SMRAT. I am Azder, and I will be commentating Bennergetic versus Azder. Or I'll be trying to, because I'm only allowed to see one of the screens. So you'll have to bear with me. So, there are a few different items we could find here first. We could find Morph Ball right away, or we could find an item that will logically let us get to the item in the Blue-Brun Star Ceiling. So we have Space Jump. In the accessible logic, the damage boost to this ceiling item will not be required. And we have our Morph Ball. So Space Jump is an interesting first item, because it opens... it logically opens a lot more things than the other possible starting items will. So we could have High Jump, we could have Ice. I don't think Speed Booster is possible as the first item, because it would require a Short Charge. Short Charges aren't in logic, so the only things that are really in logic are non-delayed wall jumps, straight vertical infinite bomb jumps, and I want to say there's something else I'm forgetting. Shine Sparking, yeah, there we go. Shine Sparking, but no short charging. And in general, some of the harder to reach checks will logically require an item that will make them a lot easier. So, as we learned a few weeks ago, Gauntlet logically requires Screw Attack. So not having Power Bombs, neither of us are going to have the option to go through the meme route to the left of the Morph Ball. So we're going to both have to go to Bomb Chorizo and see what item there is going to let us progress. So this could be Speed Booster, or it could be Power Bombs, or it could be regular bombs, or it could be Screw Attack. Power Bombs are probably the most likely. Okay, yeah, Power Bombs. Speed Booster actually would be allowed here, I believe, because you can use all the space that you want in the landing site to charge a Shine Spark, to Shine Spark left in the parlor, so it's not like you have to do the short charge. So with this being full randomizer, majors and minors can be anywhere regardless of, major minor locations. So if something's available, we want to search it, and I'm glad I came here, because that is Varia. Free Seed. I keep mockballing out of there, because I keep thinking that it's the first missile room, and it's actually the last missile room. Okay, so Varia, that puts, pretty much all of Upper North Air into logic, once I'm able to get there. I do like checking that. It is like a little bit out of the way, it's a couple rooms out of the way, but I do like checking that, in case it's Speed Booster. Because without Speed Booster, it's really easy to isolate stuff like Waterway. Actually, what I could do is I could just skip Brinstar entirely, go towards Wrecked Ship. Only 2 supers at the back of Gauntlet, so I won't be coming back there most likely unless I'm really starved for ammo. I could just actually head straight towards Wrecked Ship right now. I'll probably just end up going up Red Tower when I reach there through Brinstar anyways. But I don't have any missiles. I have barely any ammo. So even though I could do it, it's probably not the best idea. So I'm going to do this mock ball for early supers. This is a logic break. I see a reserve tank under the bridge. If the under the bridge item isn't great, I'm probably not going to bother picking it up. It's easy to see, and it takes a little bit longer to get out of. Okay, bombs are very, very good. I'll pretty much always pick up regular bombs if I see them. But they are out of logic, so I'll have to keep that in mind if I really need to find Speed Booster. Actually, now that I think about it, because I have Space Jump, I don't think it's possible that the bombs open up anything unique. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. If you don't have Space Jump, then bombs can be your... If you don't have Space Jump or Speed Booster, then bombs can be your only logical access to the landing site PBs. But we started with Space Jump, so that puts a ton of things in logic, kind of right off the bat. Getting Spring Ball. So Suitless Meridia, obviously not in logic, but if I end up not finding gravity in a reasonable amount of time, and I find other items that I need for it, I have basically everything else, then it might be the best option, time-wise, to take. So Spring Ball, using mid-air Spring Ball jumps can make that a lot easier. Or, yeah, a lot easier. Spring Ball is never really required to get through Meridia, but it can make certain things a lot less painful. So there's High Jump. That is in logic. So, actually, I feel a bit more comfortable going down Red Tower now that I have High Jump. So I'm actually not sure how much of Big Pink I'm going to decide to check here. I have a pretty limited powerbomb count right now. Okay, well, scratch that. I just found another pack. I think the only other possible route divergence at this point is if Bennergetic decided to go straight for Wrecked Ship, which I don't really think anyone would do in this situation. I'm going to try to go for the so-called Mission Impossible strat here, where you use a buffered spin jump here to escape. I'm not very good at it, but if you're fast enough, you can get up through that crumble block before it respawns. That's why those are called Mission Impossible powerbombs, because of that strat. I'm trying to decide how much I want to check here. Because, yeah, I actually think I'm just going to check everything. I have plenty of power bombs now, but I don't have charge, don't have ice or speed. And for me personally, as a player, when I play these, I'll weigh skipping some of the slower checks that are in full rando. Oh, there's Plasma. Plasma is really only going to significantly help if I find Charge Beam later, which is no guarantee. I may have to search for ammo instead. But now that I have Plasma, that would be a good beam to fight bosses with if I did find Charge, so I'm a bit more incentivized to find it. Okay, and now there's the Wave Gate glitch, which I kind of wish I had another super for. This is easy to set up with high jump. I should get it first try. Yeah, there we go. Just have to be flush against the wall. And jump up and shoot at the right time with high jump. It's quite a bit more difficult without, because you have to jump from the inside of the door, and you still have to have a pixel-perfect exposition. So supers here, those are nice. Yeah, so I think if I had maybe Charge Beam, I think if I had Charge Beam, I'd be more comfortable skipping this area. But there's still a few things that I do want to find. I was also worried about wasting my last super there, because I know I needed one to open that door on the way out. I'm actually going to check X-ray. I like to put off this check a lot of the time, actually. But it's not as slow with Space Jump, and again, I'm a little bit hurting for ammo. Oops. Barely made it in there. So I check it with the power bomb. It's just a missile. It takes a bit longer to get out if you go and get the item, so it's often worth checking with the power bomb to see what it is, and then deciding if you want to go get it. That's not what I meant to do. If it was a super, I definitely would have grabbed it. But yeah, charge, ice, and speed are big worries out there. Also need either gravity or ice and grapple. Oops. Ice or speed, you need to get through the pre-bot twin room in Meridia. Either by breaking the speed blocks or by doing the Mocktroid ice clip. Although the Mocktroid ice clip is very easy, it does require knowledge of a clip, so because this is accessible, that's not in logic. Which means that speed will never be behind. Speed will never be behind pre-bot tune. But ice very well could be. So not every seed can be cheesed like that with Ice Beam. So I've chosen to go Kraid. I've chosen to go down. It's possible Ben could have gone up. I think most people prefer to go down though. Whoops, I fired that super too early. So he's got 2 more supers worth of health, which isn't too bad. His first mouth opening, after you make him rise up, is random. It isn't affected by shots or anything. So you pretty much just sit there and wait for him to open. Missing the quick kill sucks, but if you get him down quickly, it's not the worst. But if you don't get him down quickly, that fight can drag pretty easily. So yeah, I can't know which way he went, but there's really only two big choices. There are small choices, like whether he decided to check X-ray or not. But the one-offs, the slow checks that I've been hesitant about doing, haven't actually yielded anything of importance. Wave Beam is nice. Plasma Wave is personally my favorite beam combo. Cuts through everything, don't have to deal with freezing enemies. So, technically, if we're directly chasing progression here, I want that. If we're directly chasing progression here, then kind of the optimal thing to do is to rush lower and warfare. I probably shouldn't be picking up any more power bombs. I have regular bombs, I have spring ball, I have no worries. I was picking some up earlier, in case I wanted more Ridley ammo. Actually, it might still be a good idea with only 20 supers. But, oh, I never opened the door. Whoops. You have to open the door after killing this Nova. If you open a gray door, once its open conditions are met, then it is, the gray door will be gone forever, so you generally want to open that your first trip through the room, so you don't have to kill the Nova on the way back. Checking Croc Escape item to see what it is, to see if I want to go out of my way for it or not. It can be something huge like Gravity. So here it's just a super missile, which I do very badly need supers, but it's not like they're unique, so I can just avoid that one and hope I find other ones. Oh, hello, there's Ice Beam. That's huge. That's actually really huge. That's another component for Suitless Meridia, and also will let me get through Botwoon's room if I don't find speed. Ice Beam can definitely... Okay, there's my Suitless Meridia package. Wow. Okay, this is pretty nuts. I still need ammo or charge, and Gravity would be very beneficial, let's say. Get it? Beneficial. Whoops. I don't think I got enough run speed for that ice escape. You can barely do it with the one platform there. Yeah, I didn't get it. You basically have to run the full length available for you if you want your mock ball to have enough speed with only one tripper frozen. But yeah, so I could beat the game without finding any more major items. Gravity would make things much faster if I were to stumble upon it, and it is the logically, you know, it's what the game wants me to have to go into Meridia. So, one, I definitely won't find Gravity in Meridia. Two, it's definitely somewhere that I'll be able to access with the items this is giving me. I'm gonna just check this real quick. That's X-ray. I will pick that up in case I find charge. Energy tanks are nice to pick up if you don't have both suits. If you don't have both suits, I'll usually err on the side of picking them up. Okay, here's some ammo. That's going to help for Ridley. So Ridley, the magic number of supers for Ridley is 30, because he takes double damage from them. Motherbrain 2 does not take double damage from them. So you need 60, or the equivalent of 60. For damage, it's generally 3 missiles to 1 super. Now the other thing is that Gravity cannot be in Lower North Air, because it's a logical requirement to access it. Logically, you want Gravity, Varia, and Space Jump. We got Space Jump at the start, so that's not an issue. And I do want to refill my super count here. But because Gravity can't be there, that makes the checks there worth quite a bit less for me, so I'm definitely going to be skipping Gold Chorizo, and actually, I'm really not going to check anything in Lower Norfair that's not directly on the way. I have enough ammo to get by for Ridley. 30-25 is actually enough if you don't miss at all. And I have a lot of power bombs to supplement that if I do happen to miss. But 30-25 is actually pretty comfortable. I don't have speed boosters, so I'm not good at this trick, but I can go for the bounce ball here. Oh, we got it. Nice. That saves time on the lava dive. You can't do that with speed booster on because speed booster the game makes lava kill your run speed if you have speed booster on. It's supposed to be a preventative measure against shine sparking in lava. The game didn't want you to get a shine spark charge in lava for whatever reason. You can in acid. Acid is perfectly fine, but lava... Oh, I don't actually have speed booster, so I was just talking about that. So I have to powerbomb Bellers. And because I don't have speed booster, doing the new route any percent strat here isn't quite gonna work. Actually, I should probably just kill these. I'll leave the top one. It's easy to dodge one if you've got space jump. But I do have to start being more careful, because they do 100 damage with only Varia and not Gravity. I should have used more supers in there than missiles. Since I have Grapple Beam, the Zebos at the end of Lower Norfair aren't going to be that difficult to farm. And they will readily drop... They'll readily drop supers. They have about a 40% rate. They have a very low rate to drop missiles. So it's really nice that I have Plasma. Even though I don't have Charge, Plasma is going to let me hitbox through these enemies. Basically, if you pierce an enemy with your shot, Oh, I need to be careful. I need to be really careful. Wow, this is bad. Should be okay. These pirates drop a lot of health in supers. But I'm gonna jump over this guy instead of shooting him to be safe. Yep, there we go. We're good now. I missed out on that check before. Where the power bombs of shame were. Which is unfortunate, but the best it could have been for me is like... Well, it could have been speed. It could be speed. I can definitely find that down here. It just can't be gravity. It could be charge even. I'll probably still check it on the way out. But probably like the biggest immediate thing that I would have gotten out of it was some more ammo for Ridley. Okay, so once I get this last super, I can kill Ridley with all of my ammo if I don't miss, or all of my missiles. If I miss, I will probably miss, honestly, but... I can back up with power bombs in case I do. I tried really hard to avoid that tail bounce. Way too hard. Don't want to end up in acid without gravity. It's much harder to get out of. Tried to go for quick grab there and I messed it up. It's, I'm not very practiced with doing it on the right side. But that was a pretty clean kill. I'm not grabbing that. Okay, so I've got 2 bosses down. I gotta be careful. No, I can't say where Bennergetic has chosen to go, but... if he did go down, then it'd be pretty logical to take the path that I did as well. Whether he has found grapple, and whether he feels like doing suitless meridian, I can't really say. I normally do specific movement here to manipulate the key hunters to get past them easier, but since I have plasma, I'll just YOLO it. Oh, I never got the Wasteland power bombs check. I forgot about it on the way out, so rip that check, I guess. I'm not going back for it. The biggest thing that it could be that could burn me is charge. Other than that, it's not going to tip the match on its side. I guess one big question is, if you're in this situation, let's just grab this. If you're in this situation, do you go direct ship? Do you go up red tower, go up direct ship? do that first and hope gravity is sitting there. My health is kind of low. I'd rather wait. I'm probably just going to kill these key hunters for safety. This sucks to do without charge. So you know what, actually, for right now, I'm gonna say I will go to wreck ship first. And the main reason is because I don't have enough ammo or charge. And if I'm still searching for those things, then it just makes more sense to search in places that gravity can be. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to skip the speed booster checks because that's several extra door transitions. This is only 2 rooms out of the way, and each of the rooms had an item. Speed is a bit different because you've got the bat cave and then the long hallway. And I don't have speed, so it's going to take me a while to run down that, so I'm not really willing to go through that. That much time lost for 2 checks. Okay, so that trick. I actually forgot that probably needs explaining. There are some blocks out of bounds up there that you can actually shoot them and trigger what's called a PLM interaction. PLM stands for post-load modification. And it basically refers to like objects that are spawned or loaded in the room where those routines are handled after the room is loaded and not during the room load. The prime examples of PLMs are item pickups like missiles or Varia or whatever, you know, the things we're looking for in the randomizer. Also recharge stations, also the door caps, non-blue door caps, that is. All these door caps actually technically have a blue one underneath. I don't know why I grabbed that. That was very unnecessary. It's kind of habit, I think. That's a good energy tank because my health is so low. Okay, back to PLMs. The different types of blocks you can interact with, like shot blocks and bomb blocks and stuff. Technically, those also like spawn PLMs. I'm a bit less certain on how this works, but when you shoot a shot block, the game has to temporarily take that tile and replace it with an air block. And so because it's temporarily modifying the level data while the room is loaded, that counts as a PLM interaction. So these weird shot blocks that are out of bounds, those don't actually go anywhere when you shoot them. Like, they don't. This is hard to explain. They don't actually turn into air blocks. But they end up still present as shot blocks, and you can still shoot them to try and turn them into air blocks, if that makes sense. So by doing that repeatedly, you can queue a bunch of PLM interactions, and if you queue too many, the game can't handle anymore, and it will just cease to handle certain types of blocks properly that are on screen, and that includes speed blocks. There are similar things you can do with X-ray glitches that let you go through the crumble blocks on the way out of Lower Norfair as if they're air. That's a similar concept. The reverse LN entry. But yeah, so basically you shoot those blocks a bunch of times, and it makes the speed blocks temporarily not work. You actually need Phaser or Plasma in addition to Wave for your shot to actually hit. So just Wave alone won't do it. I think there's only one other room in the game that's known where there are blocks like that. And that is in Crocomeyer's room above the vertical door. So if you've ever shot out that door and heard a weird crumble noise and wondered why, that is why there are those out of bounds shot blocks there. They're not like intentionally placed there, but I think they're. How many do I need here? Okay, what? You're kidding me. I thought that was enough. Okay, my first 2 rounds were clearly not very good. If I can shoot 8 in a super and it still enrages. That's unfortunate. I'm still pretty starved for ammo. I like... people often cite 40 and 60 as the numbers you want. I like to aim for an equivalent of 50 and 60, because you have to take the doors into account as well. The doors in Turian on the way to Mother Brain. You have to expend some missiles to open those as well. I should really stop picking up energy tanks though. I don't need more. So I'm pretty much just gonna do this last check here. Oh, I still need to do more checks actually. I still need to... This kind of sucks. Okay, so I'll grab this. I'm actually gonna go through Attic, I think. Which I think I'm kind of known for skipping Attic. Skipping Wreck Ship Attic. But I did space jump while in the ocean to spy what the item was in the bottom maze there. And it was a super. And I kind of want that super. So knowing there's a super there, and that I still need one. Makes this a little bit more worth it. I'm gonna ignore the missile there, though. Actually, I probably should have checked it too. Whoops. It's oh wow. Good call. Wow. Alright. I'm not even gonna bother getting this, I don't think. See ya. Alright. Okay, I'm just gonna say that's my go mode. There are a lot of places gravity could be in. I don't know whether Ben is going to want to do Seedless Meridian. I would bet that he could do it if he wanted. But I would say being against a better execution runner is kind of weird as far as Suitless Meridian. It depends where gravity ends up. So if he happens to find gravity and he knows that it's in a place I probably wouldn't have checked, then he can probably feel pretty good about where he's at. And, like, the thing about Suitless Meridia is, my position might be bad here. Oh no, we're good, actually. I hope that I don't insta-kill this fish. Okay, good. Plasma can sometimes insta-kill things. It can double hit sometimes because of its piercing properties, which kind of messes with this a bit. Getting that fish at the right height is a bit of a pain, so I'm just going to spring wall jump this one. In a lot of cases I would turn plasma off, but because I have spring ball to use as a backup, I'm not too worried about accidentally killing things. But yeah, so I think if you're against a better execution runner, people also know that I'm like 12th place in RBO or whatever, so so if you try and do a Suitless Meridia against someone with a better Suitless Meridia, you're probably going to lose significantly more time to that than you are to other movement. And then there's general comfort in too, so he might want to look for gravity, especially in places where I'm not likely to check. Because like what I hate the snail so much. Okay, here's the pre-bot screen room. I'm gonna lure this mock troid, and if you crouch, he ends up at the perfect position to stand on to clip through that ceiling. The way ceiling clips work is just that for the game to check if Samus can jump or not, it only checks if there's space in the tile above her head. I'll grab these supers just because they're literally in the way. You can avoid this item, suitless, but it's not worth it, generally. But yeah, there's a fair amount of, like, suitless Meridia isn't too hard overall. Getting out of Dragon's definitely the hardest part. But, like, with this item set, it's not even too bad, but it is fairly hard to do fast. And also, if he finds gravity, having gravity itself is just a huge time save. So that's kind of the interesting thing that you have to weigh when you're running one of these. So as a player that... I don't know why I checked that, actually. There's, like, no chance of that being anything good for me. Like, as a player who can skip Varia and Gravity under the right conditions, I'll be more comfortable skipping some of the more far out of the way checks if I'm good on other items, which is kind of what I was talking about back in Big Pink. Just gonna microwave this idiot. Easy. Grapple escape. Grapple escape's really hard to learn, but once you understand it, it's not too bad to execute. I think the main thing that is hard for people to wrap their heads around is getting the correct bounce off the ledge. You want to, like, swing into the ledge and then, like, hit left and A at the same time. And then also get a good feel on when to let go. Get a good feel on when to let go of jump to, like, get the bounce to catapult you up in the air, and then grapple jump out of that. Assuming that you know how to do grapple jumps, it's really just, I think, the bounce that is difficult for people. Dragon escape, I had, like, I had all the items, all the options available. So, you can use some combination of, like, basically you need to get out of 2 rooms. You need to solve 2 puzzles, or 2 conundrums, I guess, or 2 obstacles. Getting out of Dragon's room itself, and then getting out of the Precious room. So some methods you can use for one or the other, but not both at the same time. Like Blue Suit, obviously you can only use that once. So you have options including grapple jump, X-ray climb, springball jumping, and getting a Crystal Flash Blue Suit from Dragon. Those 4 things. I don't know why I paused. I think I had springball jumps on the brain. I had every single option available to me, so I just did the easiest and fastest. X-ray climbing is really slow, and it's probably one of the easiest to learn, but it's definitely the hardest to do fast. and I would recommend not doing the X-ray climb if you have any other options. I do wonder where that gravity is, though. Could be at Criteria. It could be at Criteria Power Bombs, it could be at Criteria Supers. And so if you're against someone that you know is comfortable with skipping suits and are likely to skip a lot of the out-of-the-way checks, then you might want to favor them. Because, like, if he finds gravity quickly, he could very well have an advantage over me because his Meridia would have been so much faster than mine. Even if he was behind on the other bosses getting it. But that's one of the things about making the call for Pseudos Meridia, is you need to, like, you have to accept that it's going to take longer if you do it. So you want to balance that out by reasonably skipping as many checks as you can to compensate for it. So the 5 minutes maybe that I lost doing that, I don't actually know if it takes 5 extra minutes. It might be like 4. I'm not sure. Landing on that platform was so bad. Your mistakes get amplified so much underwater. You lose so much more time for every single mistake. I hate doing room 1 without gravity. Really comfy on ammo. For having charged, that is. So it's also possible gravity could be somewhere stupid, like Criteria Supers, which would require finding Speed Booster as well. I might go for stand-up, actually. Well, this is dumb. If I run into her, it's going to do 120 damage. It's going to put me below 700, so I won't be able to start stand-up. Now I have to damage myself down pretty quick. Alright. I was a bit scared to do that. The threshold at which she'll do her final rainbow beam is a bit different if you don't have full suits on. And I'm not completely familiar with what the windows are. I think if you have Varia only, then up to 200 energy will work, where it's normally 100. I think it might be like 100, 200, 400, but I'm still not entirely sure. But it's kind of worrying, because I did Varia stand-up, which means you have to take more than one hit to knock yourself into the window. And her doing 120 damage per hit. It's technically 60 damage, actually. But because of the way that she ignores iframes, she'll almost always double hit. Oops, I wanted to space jump through that door, but I broke spin. There's some kind of weird, different movements you want to do if you have, you're coming at it from above with no speed booster. Also some different things you want to do if you don't have high jump, because the normal strats won't work. I guess, yeah, another question is where Speed Booster ended up being, because that was logically required. But I skipped a large amount of checks. That's kind of what you want to do, too. You want to be able to do that in randomizers. Okay, so that's game one. That is a 58:03 SRL time for me. Looks like Bennergetic is forfeiting. So we're going to probably get to game two shortly. Oh, wow. So he's telling me that speed was in front of Gauntlet, and gravity was at speed missiles, which all of you already knew, but I did not know. I guess I would have found out shortly via the credits here. Yeah, so we are doing all 3 today. So stick around. He's just gonna take a quick break. Forgot to stop the timer.